Hello, I want to do a Lain Iwakura versus politics video. So when I was younger, I was a leftist, but I realized the left is extremely evil, so I became a right-wing Republican MRA who's also a Muslim. So that's a lot to digest, I suppose. You can sort of figure out what my opinions are just by me saying that. I believe um leftists are sort of psychologically destroyed and develop this very disgusting kind of language, which is pretty much just communism. And it's just communist language, in my opinion. And once you can figure out how to spot their complicated communist philosophy on the left, you can sort of see that, like, they all think in this same kind of hive mind kind of way. But if you realize that Republicans just think about basic common sense facts, it's like it opens your fucking eyes to a whole new world. They say the red pill is like a rabbit hole that just keeps going because you can learn so much. Essentially, what I'm saying is Democrats are uneducated and also communists, but Republicans can go down this deep rabbit hole by red pilling themselves with information, with any sort of like real event that happens and say, this is the event that happened, but there's no need to form an opinion about it. You just state, this is what happened. There's no opinion you need to have about it. And that's the kind of root of my thinking, where you're stating this is an event, but there's no opinion that I have about said event. Let's say someone was killed in a shooting like you see on the news. You say this is the event, but it doesn't imply anything. We're not dancing on the graves of people who were brutally murdered. We're saying obviously murder is a horrible thing. But the thing about leftists is that they're actually pro-murder, which is also related not only to just, you know, basic murder, but they're also pro-abortion, which is murder in most Republicans' eyes, I would say. Well, if you don't think that, I don't really know if you are a Republican, because like in the eyes of, well, I mean, it's not even just about God, but it's like there's like a third life. There's the mother, the father, and the child is inside the woman, and then it's born, and then and that child is you. You're that child. You were inside your mother, and you're saying that you weren't a human being during the time you were inside your mother for some reason. That doesn't make any sense to me. If you were inside your mom, that sounds bad. You were inside your mother's uterus when you were a baby. Is what I meant. um, but anyways, how is that not you? We're saying there's some child inside a mother, and you just fucking put a needle in the back of its skull and kill it, and then tear it out of the fetus. That's a pretty disgusting thing to do. And then there's also the popular one that all the people are talking about. Well, all the leftists are worried about it. It's like the deportation of illegal aliens, meaning people who aren't supposed to be here, people who don't have a right to be here because they didn't come into the country legally. I see no reason why you wouldn't want to deport people who are harming the country by being in it without a legal right. I mean, that's already a crime in and of itself. But then it also happens that many of those people just happen to be criminals, despite the fact they're already criminals just by being here. It doesn't make any sense. If someone commits a crime, then they need to be punished for it. You know what I mean? When you commit a crime, you're taking a risk because you can be punished. Does that make any sense? This applies to everybody. Anybody who commits a crime the law will fucking punish you if they find out and shit. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm not saying. And one thing about me is that I have face tattoos, so I don't really support the police. But you can't deny that they sort of serve some necessity. Because like imagine if there was no police. So let's say someone raped you. Well, they sort of have a necessity in investigating that matter. So I can understand in situations like that, the police have some viability, but I personally don't support the police. But I also don't say defund the police because that's just evil. You need the fucking police. If you're going to commit a crime, you have to figure out how to avoid the police, how to dodge them and not get found out, that you committed a crime and shit. Like, for example, when I was smoking crack on the streets, I was fully aware that if I got caught, there was a chance that they would put me in rehab or prison or something. But I did it anyways because I wanted to smoke crack. I was fully aware of the risks. I wasn't saying defund the police so I can commit all my crimes and do all my illegal drugs and kill people. It doesn't work like that. You just have to be smart enough to know how to dodge the police if you're going to commit a crime. That's why I don't support the police. But regarding ICE, which is the next thing, I don't think I've spoken about this yet. I don't mind ICE at all. Because the ICE is not the police. You have to understand that. ICE are not police officers. ICE are just people who are appointed to deport these illegal aliens, essentially. I don't really know what else the ICE organization does. But they're just these people. You need people to deport the illegal aliens, which I'm in full support of. And I also support Donald Trump, for the record. I support Make America Great Again. And even in high school, I had a Make America Great Again hat, but I don't have that anymore. But I mean, like, when I was in high school, I was like, I didn't really understand politics. I had like mixed opinions about it because on one end, there was my reason and logic that showed me, okay, I should probably be right wing. But on the other hand, there was all this media that I was consuming that was destroying my fucking mind, which is actual evidence of the fact that the media people consume, especially on that fucking TV over there, on the media that people consume actually destroys their fucking minds. There are good TV shows which are Republican, like The X-Files, and then there are bad TV shows like, I don't know, The Bachelorette, that make people into these woke-ass zombies. And you know what we do is, well, let's not go that far, but yeah, zombies, they're not very, nobody wants to coerce with a zombie. Like, I can say that much. I mean, it's just people turn into NPCs is what another word for zombie. I mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. All these opinions are going to make people so mad. And that's why I love doing it, because I'm not a bitch. And then what else can I say about it? Well, there's also just opinions about understanding the differences between democratic communist language or Republican cold hard facts. If you can understand that difference perfectly, no matter when you hear any situation and someone is spitting at you with democratic communist language, you can say, no, I am not a communist. I'm not going to abide by that language. It's very manipulative because it's very fucking disgusting. They will use fear-mongering in order to manipulate you into believing things that aren't actually true. And that's something people don't understand. Republicans just look at cold hard facts like saying, yeah, maybe we shouldn't cut the breasts off of young girls because it's just a fact that, in my opinion, women can never be men. And I say that also from life experience because Lain Iwakura is a woman. I believe I am a cis woman, but I have gender dysphoria. But I sort of had to accept, since I'm a Republican and smart, that I can never really be a man. So I'm actually a woman no matter what I do. Women can never be men, and I would never modify my body or do surgical operations on my female body because that would just destroy my life and also give me so many physical health problems. I mean, what's the point of that? Then you'll just realize later in your life that you're not really a man, just like I did. I'm not really a man. I am a woman. And that's what I'm saying. This is why this topic is so personal to me, because I've been through the shit, man. Because like I'm a woman who wanted to be a man, but I can never be a man, so I decided no, I'm just going to be a woman for the rest of my life, even though I have gender dysphoria. And it's also like, just all sorts of things I can say, but that's essentially the crux of it. I'm a Republican MRA who is also a Muslim, so I believe in God, and I believe God would say yes. If you unnaturally extract, I mean, you say extract, but it's actually murder a child inside of a woman's body, then yeah, that's pretty fucking evil in my opinion. I think that's what Allah, the one God, would his opinion would be.